So, started a separate stream. Hopefully that'll work. Remove my having the wrong screen or whatever. I've got to switch over to using something directly within the VM, I think. But that does mean you got to configure each VM, which isn't super desirable. Um, Whatever. Really just trying to get back on track. It's been like 10 days. Well, all last week and whatnot. So got sidetracked on sort of evaluating or trying out the pi.dev coding agent thing, somehow related to OpenClaw, or that's the base that OpenClaw is built on, maybe, whatever. Anyway, it's kind of interesting. It's definitely the best I've tried. I was using with the Gemma 4 running locally with Llama CPP, which works pretty good. Um, I have a MacBook M4, runs pretty well. I'm running the Llama CPP is running on the actual Mac, and then I'm running Pi, or when I was trying to OpenClaw, running those within a Linux VM that then connects to the Llama CPP that's just running on the Mac. So that way I get good hardware acceleration, which is nice. And it means that the LLM, I'm not configuring per VM or anything, because like if I ended up having two VMs, I don't want to have to copy all of the giant models on there and all that kind of stuff. So that's hosted, that's running on my Mac, and then I have the VM, so it's all on one machine though. Anyway, it still has problems. Um, some of that could be model related. I was trying various models or various versions of the Gemma 4 model, but even the smallest one seemed to work kind of okay. But um, anyway, um, I definitely can't use it all the time. Even trying to get just doing basic stuff was just like, oh my God, I could just do this so much faster myself. um, so for me, it's just like it's just an extra step in there. Like, I just want to go from in my brain to just writing out code. I'm not spending a lot of time, you know, it's just an incredibly inefficient way to code if you know how to program. Um, Definitely Google's enhanced sort of search with Gemini or whatever is good and makes things better, and you can get better search results than before and whatnot. Um, and it's kind of okay for doing that, just like figuring out stuff, but it's just incredibly tedious to try to like describe what you want to this thing, because I really want to just go from brain to like, writing, typing it out. So, but I would have problems like, oh, it's trying to get it to update the agents.md, and it would like, oh, it just like overwrote the whole thing with just having the small snippet instead of the whole thing. So some of those kind of problems. Similarly, I was getting it to like write a bash script, and it sort of just overwrote the whole thing kind of oddly. Um, so yeah, I didn't really try it much though with like, you know, Gemini or some sort of Anthropic or whatever models. So I don't entirely know if it's model related or not. Um, any of the problems I'm having, but I don't feel like they should be. So anyway, it's like interesting to play around with, and it's kind of interesting how you can like have your agents or like whatever things that are like programming it with English sort of thing, which is weird, but it's like it's just so unreliable to get it to do things deterministically, and then you know just yeah, it's just like a way less precise way to say things, and then it just doesn't execute the same every time. So it's like I don't even understand the point of that behavior. But basically, all the humanness of the LLMs is the problem. But anyway, I don't really want to talk about that a lot. Um, I'm not going to be using it now. I do have it running, or I'm logged into this thing. I guess that's kind of interesting that I set it up as what do we call this? Why is packet? What the fuck? Why are all these? What are all these node modules in here? That doesn't seem right. I think that's when I just did that install. I did it wrong. So I'm just gonna delete all this and see what happens. Because they should not be here. It's still work. So, well, okay, so I'm here. I'll just fucking say it. So I was dorking around with this, and so like AI is just the VM that all these things were gonna run on for my testing. Chloe was the name I was gonna use for the VM. It was originally Cody, but that just seemed too on the nose for a coding thing. So whatever. Um, so that's the persona, I guess, or whatever. So SSH into the machine. And what I was wanting was like, oh, when this happens, well, you can ignore this. I'm just gonna delete that. I've been wanting to delete it for a while, but to where the pie just went up the sort of like, oh yeah, it looks like we're gonna need an extension. It was just kind of almost out of nowhere. I guess I shouldn't have deleted it, but it could have showed that. I mean, I generated some code that kind of would have worked. Um, I think it's just that thing of like, do you care what the output is? And if you care what the output is, then any of these LLM things are going to be bad for you, or image gen or whatever. But if you don't have a real opinion, then you can get something that works and is fine. But it wasn't the generation part that was the problem, though. It wasn't necessary. It was the results could have been better, but the code wise, but that's not the real problem. The real problem is just like this huge amount of overhead that was then created. It's why I don't use an IDE with like even autocomplete. It's just too fucking slow. Like before you're yeah, they're all just too slow. So the LLM's going to be slower, but I wasn't trying to do like autocomplete. I was trying to just describe what I want or whatever. Um, but I tried to get it to do this thing where it would go, oh, look at the IP address in the SSH client environment variable, and then you're going to look up and see if you have a file for that IP address and map to a user name. So sort of like, oh, every user's coming from a different IP address, so you could like, map an IP to a username, and then the name would map to this thing in this user memories. That was the name that it came up with. And so I don't know why I didn't record all this, but whatever. Well, partially I do. Partially it was because I was doing stuff on the Mac and whatever. And anyway, um, so I don't know. I guess arguably I could just pull up the like old sessions and you can look through that somehow. Um, but the gist of it is that I was like, okay, so how can we implement that? And I was like, oh, putting this stuff into the agents file or something, or that's where it put it, or somehow all this happened. And uh, so now it's just this thing, and it's come up with this like, oh, so you've got this the critical session identification protocol. highest priority. That was when it wasn't seeming to like trigger all the time, and I was like, just make it so that it always gets run. And they're like, so it put all these like critical highest priority. So this was so like trying to do this thing of like, yeah, it's you can definitely access the SSH client variable. Like that's not even consistent. Like there's times when you can see the thinking and it's going like, oh, I need to do this. It's like, oh, I can't access it because I'm in this environment. It's like you didn't even fucking try. Like, and you definitely can because sometimes you do it. So that's when you get into all these things and then trying to get it to edit this file was a nightmare. And here's like the memory protocol. So that was the thing. If like, oh yeah, if I say memo whatever, it'll put the whatever into this file for that user. And I was trying to get it to do this, and it was like, it it's just none of it is reliable. Like that's the bottom line. And you can test it, and it's like, oh, it just worked. But you can come in a new session and like, oh no, we're not gonna work anymore. It's like I don't know. It's like I don't know. Oh yeah, style. Okay, don't use emojis or end dashes. I told it to put that. So like it built up all of this stuff, and like I got it to actually do the thing where this was a back and forth on the Git thing because I wanted it to like check out the project Fluffy from the GitHub URL. And then I was like, okay, I just want you to do stuff in Git. Um, and so it would create its own branch and do stuff, and then I would just pull that to my machine, and then I'll commit to, you know, push it up to GitHub or do whatever. Like it just has that. I pull changes from it and then apply them to master or whatever. Which eventually got it set up and it's working, but I had to go round and round with it of like, I mean, I kind of knew you could do this, but I wasn't sure exactly how to do it, which it turns out to be fairly straightforward. Um, but I had to go round and round with it about like, look, I know you can do this. I just don't know how to do it. And they're like, oh, well, the easiest thing, what we need to do is have a third party, a remote repository where, it would push up and I would pull and, oh, we got to have this third repo, and all this stuff. I just got, finally, I think I just like put it into Google and the Gemini result. I just pasted it in there. Goes, look, this is how you do it. It's like, oh, okay, thanks. I was like, fuck. But you just don't ever know like how do you actually go with this thing or whatever. And so I did get it to actually like make a commit, a useful well, I got it to actually, commit something to its branch, which had been used in the examples. Got it to write this stuff into here to like remind it to also say, don't run Git unless you've actually set the um, ensure that you've set these things. I don't know if it's actually doing that or not because it's now set. I haven't tested it on a machine where it hadn't been set, but this is something I put in there because it kept like a tool would fail and then it would just go, oh, it worked or something. um, so anyway, it's just basically it's like feels like it takes about 1,000 times as long for like this kind of stuff I want to do compared to my ability and how I want to work. It just slows things down drastically, it seems. And then if you're like putting stuff in here like this to like get it to the sort of programming in this way with this like English or like I guess that's how skills work. It's just a massive amount of overhead. It's got to run like the actual execution has got to be like 10,000 times as slow. I mean, it's just maybe it's fast enough or whatever, but And then eventually I did like, okay, well, this is going crappy. And this, there was a different version of this where it was doing everything in here sort of. And I was like, well, this is just being super unreliable. Like the whole thing about checking this SSH client environment variable was so flaky. So I got him to just, her, whatever, got it to write this shell script to do everything. So now you just do look up and it'll return the username. And if you do for an ad with the username after you've asked for it from the user. And so at least these parts work more reliably. There's still some issues with it actually like doing this correctly in general. But so like if I do like pi, so it's running, and then I do hello, and then it says hello. It may have been my agent's thing that's making it. So like that didn't even do any thinking. Uh, so if I do this, it'll actually do the thinking part, and it starts doing this thing, which I find the thinking thing's pretty funny sometimes. But um, so it does like, it knows what it has to do, and we're gonna do these things, and then we call bash and it executes this thing, and we get the thing back, and so then it does it, and it does, and so it does hello Jason. So it knows that, but it like didn't read the memory thing. So I can't do like what do I like? Because now it's like doing this thing where it's like, oh no, this time it did it. That's what I'm talking about. Like earlier today, I tried this and it just didn't work. Um, or maybe it's because I said, "Do what do I like?" Whereas before, let me start over. So hello still does that. Um, I was doing something like this because tofu is one of the things, and so yeah, doing it goes. But um, because that's like, oh, something in the memory, which then it's like, oh, I don't have this. Like, but you can do like look in memory, and I think it'll some well most of the time it seems to figure out whatever. Um, and this is what I'm talking about too. What? No, like this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Where it's like, um, see if this pulls up the thing again now. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of just it's just the variability that's like totally pointless. So like this is the script it wrote. Well, this is the multiple scripts it attempted to write. Some of that was due to me saying stuff like, "Oh, initially it made it this thing," and then I was whatever. Um, so it's a fairly basic script, but it just printed out all this. It had like put this into the chat, and so I was like, "Oh, just add that stuff at the top as a comment." Um, I don't really like this use of shift, but whatever. Because I was a little confused when I was just looking down here where it used one somewhere. Here, I was like, oh, one. Well, that can't be right. Like the one would just be these things, but I was like, oh, nope, they use shift. I don't think I would do that if I wrote it. But I mean, and that's the kind of thing where it's like, okay, it's a little confusing, and I don't really think you should have done it that way. But also, this is not like quoted potential. Anyway, But if you're just doing one-off script for like yourself or whatever, it doesn't matter. But it added way more than I would have if I did this, and I could have, there's various things, and it definitely would have taken me longer. I think. I don't know all the iterations, but um, and you can also do an SSH auth user if you enable something that gives you the key fingerprint, which is what I really should have done. Um, but I'm not really gonna do any of this, so it doesn't matter. Really, it just all spawned out of like, oh, this thing should know who I am or whatever. It seemed weird if I was like explicitly saying that the user is always me or whatever. Oh, and it created this thing. It's like, oh, we have this magnet file and it put in these things and um I guess I tried from that. And this is a test, which so they I didn't realize that they actually injected test data in there, but it like, generated this file on its own, can look it up based on this, IP address, get the line, extract the username, and I didn't really have to do much of anything. Um, so I don't know. Definitely, if you just don't know how to do anything at all, you could surely make a lot of progress. But there's also cases like that bug I had that's on the stream where it was like the OpenSSL stuff where it just like totally put in the wrong thing. Um, so anyway, that's enough of that. I'm trying not to waste any more time on it, but it's not necessarily addictive, but it's just in that way of like you're just like typing stuff and then you can just like turn around. It's been 2 hours. And it's like, and you're like, I guess it gives you the perception that like, well, I've been working all that time, right? But I mean, it's just way slower than I could do it straight up in most cases. Um, and so, yeah, I don't know. I think it still does boil down to a little bit of like, if you don't have to use AI, don't, I guess. I don't know. There's definitely things that you could use that I would might use it for, I guess. But oh, this is all when I was testing, trying to test, and like you can see here where it's like I would just do hi, and then it'd be like, oh, let me just look up. I'm gonna look up who the user is, and then I'm gonna read their whole thing about who they are, and then I just print out hello. It's like now that just doesn't work. Whoops. Um, but so the other part is how much it depends. Well, um, on the system prompt. So I added in these things, which I think it's when you say concise, um, it'll be way less information or whatever. But I think that affects like when you say be concise or like minimize tokens or something. It almost seems like it like see how this oh no, what? Yeah. Uh but you can see it's not in neither one of those cases did it actually like look up who I am. So it's like confused. Like I think this will probably yeah. God, I remember all of these. Caesar is not explicitly asked me to memo anything. Like this is like it's got like it just seems like this processing these tokens to figure out this stuff would be like slow. But anyway, definitely if you can do stuff on a CPU, it's more straightforward. So I do think it's better to get it to write code. That's the only way to get it to be deterministic and wrap as much into the code as possible because then you can at least like um, put it in source control and stuff, which is the other thing I haven't done. Um, can I put .py agents in Git? So then it goes like this whole thing of like blah blah blah. But also this is like telling me the workflow, which is not um um yeah, I don't know if it does or not. So I don't actually I put this thing in here, the agents file into pi agents, but I kind of think that's actually bad. Uh, I don't know. Whatever. See, that's what I'm talking about. Sucked into it. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that anymore. I want to actually get some real work done because I haven't made any progress on that. It's been on my mind. So, okay. So, conveniently, I had to go back and watch the video from the last stream to find out what the hell I was doing. Um, I guess we're not running right now, probably. This is no, that's not right. That's yeah, it's the J and B. This one? Oh, there we go. Okay. So why are you asking? I think we need to do better with our random thing. We should just make that a random number. Oh, so I'm just supposed to say, does this work? That doesn't seem to work. Hit it. Oh, eventually it worked. Okay, so now wait. Somehow I'm logged in. What the fuck? Oh, it's gotta be just. Uh, how the fuck am I actually logged in though? I because I'm not doing anything with that. Am I? Because I did this and then here. I'm not doing. Oh, I'm not reading it at all. But how does it know? Yeah, now we're off in the weeds. Um, So I think what needs to be happening is I might actually like to be. I need to put this onto a branch, I think. Um, if I was. So I think this is probably needs would. Oh, I know what it is. Home handler, yeah, has optional because that's how it was before. Because at some point I was trying to do like, um, yeah, to allow the home page to just be viewed. But that's what happened here. It's just I explicitly put this in. I'm not sure why we're not just checking for require session now, but um, so um, so anyway, so I must still have a cookie, and that's what's happening here. But we shouldn't have to do cookies anymore. Um, so if this was require user or whatever, which I don't know what's the difference between that. Oh, I put this in here because I think, yeah, I don't know why I still have this as make it a new thing. For some reason, join is pointing to auth. Not sure what that's about. That should probably point to join thing, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. So really, that's probably more correct even that this auth should be. This should just be join. Is join him? Oh, that's not a thing. Okay, so the other idea that I think I kind of was babbling about almost on the last stream is that um, how to do just the general user flow is the issue. And so um, what am I doing? This doesn't matter. Um, so just if you've never been to a site, this site before at all, you need to um, I think what I'm gonna have to do is have an extremely simplistic listener on 8080 that I'm thinking will just be, just a tiny little single threaded thing. I'll fork off and it'll just always return the same information. And so you'll have this thing listing on unencrypted 8080. That page would then, have a link to the secure site as well as the explanation of like, okay, this is the deal. It's got a certificate authority. It's got self-signed certificates basically, and you got to get key. Basically, all of that, at least for now, will have to be on that page. so you'd access the unencrypted thing. It'll also explain like, yeah, you're gonna have to go through this thing. You have to go through the annoyance of the adding the server CA certificate to your thing. Um, so anyway, hopefully in the future that can be streamlined. Um, so yeah, but it also solves sort of my prior problem of like, oh, what are we gonna do about a redirect or whatever? Um, which also at the time, like that was way overthought. Like I should have just spent a few minutes create or whatever creating this thing that's forked off at the beginning that just listens on 8080 and redirects. Like you don't need much to just like get get that okay, they made any request at all and you always return the same thing. So it's like teeny tiny or whatever. Um so maybe I should do that. Let's just do this as an example. Right? The simplest C program that can write I don't know up to 496 bytes response, the fastest, right up to, oh, this C program that can reply to an HTTP request with up to 496 bytes of static data. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Oh, we got something. It's right. Oh, it's just writing out a file. Um, okay. Oh, I didn't say anything about Linux. But you really need string? I should have said like no dependencies or something. See, this is how you get sidetracked. Because this is the other thing. It's like when you're using this thing, it's like Pi or any of these things, it's like so much reading of responses and stuff. Like to me, that part's the way more tiring part. It's just so tiring. You're just doing so much reading and trying to comprehend stuff and sync it with what you think in your mind. Whereas like normally I'm just like thinking shit in my mind, writing it down in code. Like so it just turns it into like, oh, I'm just reading all fucking day and it's just exhausting. It's like, why would I want to do that? Like, it needs to be the point. Like, maybe this looks a little longer than necessary, but Like, this is way longer than I thought it would be. But maybe they're doing unnecessary stuff. But I think I could do this. Um, um, right. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I was trying to get at is like, you just barely need to detect if a request happens or not. Because also, I was looking up this the other day. Supposedly, like your typical HTTP client, you know, it has to make a request before it'll like even match up with this response. So you can't just like, oh, if you accept the socket, just write it out or whatever. That supposedly won't work. Nope. Yeah, they've done the wrong thing. They just doing what I was talking about, accepted the connection, just wrote out the data straight away. Oh shit. Um, what the fuck? Ah, God. Anyway, um, so yeah, at a minimum, that's probably not going to be compatible. So, browser accept a response without sending a request first. No. Yeah, there you go. Uh, like I think actually what you can do is just search for a blank line, the like two new line or carriage return new lines in a row or whatever it is. Um, won't this make your program not work? No, it just means it's opened the socket. It doesn't mean it's sent a request. I don't remember what model I'm using. But I don't think that's true. Well, we can just answer this question pretty fast, though. How did they say? Yeah. So it thinks we can just do this. ON 8080. Well, it compiled. It's listening on 8080. Oh, yeah. So also, I wasn't really paying attention, but it's not doing the except in a loop. Wait, did they send? Uh, wait, what data is it sending? What? They didn't format the fucking. Uh, it's just writing. I wasn't really paying attention to this, but wait, plus is the yellow. Oh, so okay, here you go. So they're now. I don't know why. Why are they doing this every time? Uh, Interesting. That's what I'm talking about. Um, right. Your current my your program. I didn't write that program. Need to add something to the agents about it's responsible for its own code or something. Demanding. Wait, so did it actually um, update it? Yes. So in the prior one, it actually did write it, I guess, is what happened. And then, or it did the edit successfully, apparently. Um, and it does have a slash r slash n. That's, um, now it doesn't know that it edited the code. Um, so like that's the thing. You can just go down this rabbit hole and okay, at least for that you can, but um yeah, won't work. Wait, it's not a oh no, that's so I gotta go to this. Yeah. Oh, so it does work. Um uh um I try to do all of my things like this. I'm trying to not ever. How did I get off on this fucking tangent? Yeah, this is a constant problem. It tries to edit files and it can't. So that kind of thing maybe is fixed. You go to Claude code or something. But basically it'll like I'm gonna edit this file, the edit will fail. Um Oh yeah, so it is gonna do a loop single. Like why? This is my complaint about all these kind of things in the in AI, even the Gemini, like on Google search, is like, yeah, I want the good version. Like, why does it default to giving me stupid garbage that doesn't work? Like, uh, and now I've fallen into the AI agent rabbit hole. Oh, then it gets into this thing, and then it's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna write it. I don't know why it wrote it twice. Okay. Too much logging, obviously, but um, least amount of work in the loop. Let's see if that's enough to get it to move this shit. Like all this shouldn't be done here. Blah. Ah. So it wrote this out. Are you gonna find that thing? Um, so, oh, oh, I didn't even notice that they're, yeah, so it's not gonna find that. Ugh. It just removed all the error checking. Error handling isn't good. You're recreating the header buffer every time through the loop and also making two write calls even though all data is static. Constant. Let's see if that even works. Why didn't it think of that though? Um, hmm. So combined buffer. Seriously, what the fuck is going on? I feel like okay, what is it? Doing. Uh, um. This is what I'm talking about, where you get into like reading so much stuff, and I don't know. Although you can turn off the thinking stuff and not read that, but it's kind of entertaining sometimes, especially if you do like talk like tell it the system prompt to talk like a pirate, and then you uh, look at the thinking. The thinking is not like a pirate, so like the thinking is just normal, and then it's speaking like it's a pirate or whatever. Uh, oh no. So it doesn't know anything about creating a single file header, I guess. Little stb lib. See if it can figure this out. Yeah, fuck off. It's very into best practices, which is annoying. Whoop. Why did that just happen? Are we gonna have a problem? This is where I feel like I'm already falling down into a like, okay, this is an unnecessary amount of effort. No, whatever. It's fine. I like the HTTP reply name better. Not really. Like this is the thing where it's like, yeah, I could fucking just type that shit in way faster than all of this. I don't even. What are we even getting off here now? We can't even write the file, and I'm not editing the file any. Say it just spews out a bunch of files. See if this was even. I'm watching Barbarella. It's pretty funny. It's the end where she, well, oh, spoiler alert, she breaks the orgasm machine. Um, oh, no, no, you're getting that every time too. He keeps telling me, okay, try it again or whatever. It's, what the fuck? Why is this not able to write shit anymore? Oh, wait. Why? It's trying to edit it when the file doesn't even exist. What the fuck are you doing? Oh. Oh. No, they did not. Uh. This is the thing. I don't know if this is like model issue or what, but like I'll get in these scenarios where it's like you just can't write out the file. And now this is feeling super fucking tedious. Like, let me check what version of the model I'm running. Oh, so this is like the Gemma 4 E2B, so like the smallest one, but with the 8-bit quantization. I think I was doing like that one apparently is really for phones, so it's like the smallest version. And I guess E4B, which I have, is supposed to be like one for a thing, like a laptop or whatever, or like a, not great machine. So I think I have the version of that. It's like a whole issue with these things too. It's like all the, God damn it. No, I don't. Some sort of fucking upgrade. It's not easy to list out what the um things you have in like your hug face thing. Um, like which quantizations you have. Um, but I think this is the right. And let's see if this works. Hopefully, it won't try to download. Okay, so this is the 4B, so we'll see if that has any impact at all. Really, I guess I should be using the mixture of expert one. I think that did better on coding, like would run faster. The 31B, but I don't know. Anyway, okay. Uh, no. Uh, what? Oh man, is this gonna be a problem? Did they? Nope. Uh, there's no code in HTTP reply.h. Control O, and even like what they're showing right here. What an STB lib is. Wait, yeah, okay. I don't know. Is what STB libs are lib. Yeah. So now it's probably loading. Yeah, it's gotta load the model into RAM or whatever. So that was the delay, I think. Um, oh, I am familiar with SCBLA. They are a specific type of C header only libraries. Wow. Pioneered by Sean Barrett. This is the local model, by the way. Um, back hurts. Okay. There you go. That's it. Like this is the thing. It's like it can be totally coherent at times, and at other times just um um. So the clay so funny doesn't do library. Right? I don't know why I was just thinking about the line out of Silicon Valley's where, or the Silicon Valley show where the Dinesh is talking about I can write optimized code, blah blah blah. Like I want to, I should put those into the agents or whatever, or say you are Guilfoyle. I gotta just have to try that though. Wait, we can't get into this. Uh, I What am I doing? Wait, what? Um, yeah, we're gonna make it put everything in there, including the fort. This is really getting out of control, which is, I guess, what happens. All right, we got a thing here. I don't like that formatting, but whatever. Um, Format the code with the function name starting at column 0. Let's see. Uh, it's probably like going. I'm going to use edit to replace the whole file. Yeah, but it hasn't. And nope, we failed. Um, oh my gosh. Static data should be a parameter. Yeah, you think? Right, yeah, I think this should be um um what did it do it? So there's a what was the oh yeah no, do it. Um and they passed the thing, but they didn't well, that's a twofold thing. Like function signature is now more optimized. So, well, I guess one, I was trying to see if it would find that you can this obviously doesn't have to be there. You could just that should be done right here. Because it basically you're just scanning this whole buffer every single time, then duh. To achieve code is already highlighting for IO after telling it all this shit. I kind of have to add this stuff, I guess, in the agents where it's like, just give me the, you know, minimal optimized simple code or something, and like, I don't know, like, how do you get it to not give me these intermediary things? Maybe that's model related. I mean, I can tell you right now that I bet you money I could do. I mean, this would have taken me like 10 minutes or something if I just did it myself. Like, you just Google, like, um, you know, simple C function to HT reply with a static buffer on every with a static buffer on every request. So, um, which oh well, see, like, um, oh, right, um, oh, this doesn't even request a socket or anything. It's just like literally generating the response. Um, hmm. Oh, so yeah. I mean, but even this one, like, is that string length every time. Um, I mean, granted, the string is not long or anything, but still, it's like I never would have even written that code in the first place. So like you end up spending all this time like trying to like smush this thing into like the right thing. It's like, yeah, I can just fucking do it. If you can't just fucking do it, then obviously that's a different situation. But what? Here, P error isn't the problem. I mean, I could just tell it obviously what to fix, but that's what fun is that? Um, there you go. Yeah, void. So it can explain all this. And it did eventually find it. After prodding. Like that's the point to me too. It's like just put the inscrutable highly optimized C version. Like I don't care if it's like we shouldn't need to have the shit version. That's all I'm saying. If you can just instantly go, give me the good version. Why are you giving me shit versions? It doesn't have to be human readable, obviously. What is I don't know what's the fuck. What is keep jumping over there? Which files this this session are not being or can be deleted because we aren't using. I did try this was like is a thing of like asking like what it thinks of the files or I forgot what I was doing the other day, but instead of just going like delete all the files you aren't using. Uh, so like, oh, holy shit! Like this is one of those moments where you're like, holy shit, I can't believe I did that. Doesn't make up for all the times that it's just not doing stuff that seems completely obvious. But this is a good result. Uh, I do think the E4B is better than E2B. Like typically E4B is what I was using most of the time. I'd switch to that of the E2B just as a test, but feel like it that E4B does better. I need to try the 26B again though. The other obsolete. Okay is a vague reply, but let's see what happens. Blah blah blah. Oh wait. So like it said that. I see that, but did it do it? Yes. Okay. Fuck. What do we got? Uh, string length change didn't make it. I think it's interesting that it phrases this as micro optimization. I wonder if I could just write it in assembly. I just think that it's another thing where it'll be like, oh, I've got to like, what's always this? I gotta acknowledge the limitations and blah blah blah. But it'll also like do, oh, it's making the requirements more complex. We're gonna like, we gotta talk about the like. It's always about complexity. It's like it's four fucking function calls. Which I did actually say one time. It's like typed in. You gotta if six function calls is complex, you're not gonna make it. And then it had some whatever response, but wait, what? Oh no, I think it just misunderstood me. Oh, I mean that could be true, but I'm not gonna depend on that. Huh? No. Uh, none of this matters because I I mean, just slamming out a small buffer, you know, I don't even know how having multiple processes would actually help that. Um, oh man, I don't know where else. Uh, guess so. If I say like, I don't think currency is necessary in this case, could it even be faster than all that's happening? I don't know why I'm reading that. Whoa. This is like way more analysis than I gave a shit about. Uh, Zero spinnable. It's not the bottleneck. Log is the system call overhead, except write close, and the physical network latency. Blocking, well, this is simple. It means the server is idle, blocked on accept, or busy. As for a static response, the time taken is context. That's what I'm saying. Just the one thing. Surely you're just like slamming it down. Oh yeah, I didn't even consider if we just like jam it into the kernel HTTP server that used to exist in Linux. I don't know if it still does. God, what if you could do that though? It's not worth it. I don't even think this is entirely accurate about waiting on the network card. Like, I think this would just be writing that into something and moving on into a buffer. But I don't know. Right. Um, the string link should still be moved out of the loop, even though I'm about to tell it to do something else. Yeah, Laura's games micro level. They really can harp on shit like that too, where it's like basically it's like I think you're wasting my time, and so it puts this like passive aggressive shit in here. It does seem to like wait, what is oh, it used it the nope, you didn't do it. Wait, what? Oh no. Watch. Even though oh uh, yeah, I mean it is static. Maybe that'll happen. Uh, uh okay, did it write it? That's like sometimes it like does things like that where it's like here's the final version, but then it like doesn't just automatically write it out for some reason. But at other times it'll just like I'll often do a bunch of stuff and just write it immediately and like do a bunch of stuff you don't want. Oh, it's your numbering is wrong. Oh. Okay, let's see how they've done. Total response link. They did the right thing. Whoa. What is this shit that you can actually what is this? Is this oxygen or some sort of oh. The total length of the response. Oh. Oh. Actually, there be a size parameter for data instead of a it's not really an optimization per se. Oh, yeah. Uh, Definitely could have done this faster at for this level of. All right, so we got the size, data, length. Um, uh, yeah, can't really do that. Oh yeah, you could. Um, uh, yeah, no, uh, where is the limit? The 396 buffer limit. Just use whatever is passed. Let's see if this. I wanted to end up using malloc with the size of our. Is this gonna change? Yeah, no, this is not a significant change. It's like one line change. So at least they went from fixed size to heap allocated. I'll update to use malloc for the response buffer. Hmm. It's an interesting question, but I consider this like a creation thing. Sure, programmatic cleanup. What? In the loop? Oh, no. Um, no. Show me. This is where, like, I guess if you're um, look, this is like, how long is this? I mean, it's arguably you could jam this into like 20 lines of code or less or something. Um, what did I tell it to do? Uh, oh, no, I don't know why. Rough estimate. What the fuck? What? What the fuck is going on here? Oh, I think, uh, what? What the fuck? Why are we making estimates of the size all of a sudden? And this is the fucking rabbit hole. Uh, yeah, I don't know this. What's that thing where it said something about? Maybe it was in the thinking saying, like, is that what it was? Using free before the loops continue? Oh no, it was up here. It's also ensure proper memory cleanup is performed in the loop, which is wrong, but it did the right thing in the code. Uh, what? Um, yeah. Now, with all the estimates about header size, the header should be header is is fixed size to is unknown size. Like this is what happens. It would just be like, oh no, they got the content link there. Oh. Um yeah. Um yeah, it's also this that pisses me off. This like, oh, one final thing. Or it's like, this is the best final version. And I'm like, nah. Yeah. Um I don't know where that comes from. But I mean, uh so what are they doing? What the fuck is this data length plus 256 shit? I mean, it's fine or whatever, I guess, but it's like I don't know why we're just convoluted. It hasn't. What? uh 25 accounts for that. So uh yeah, you don't know. But it's interesting how much this has turned into a significant change, but honestly, it should not have. Okay, I may just have to fucking abandon this. Because also now I have to like read the code. Like, and they can and do change like random things at times. So we can't just like only look at part of it really. It's kind of annoying. So pre-calculate the static. Yeah, I guess you don't because they're putting. It just seems a little weird that we're. Um, I just feel like they've trained on some shit code bases or something. Okay, what is it I think my actual complaint here is? And can it. So the problem as I see it is you're trying to get just the content length is a problem. And this is calculating. So we got the prefix, we got this thing plus 25 for the header length. Uh, total response links, actual combined buffer. Wait, are they? Oh, they are writing in data. So data length. So we're for some reason we're putting the prefix into. Yeah, wait. Uh, okay, whatever. I mean, I guess we can argue about. Uh, oh fuck. You're. This is wrong, isn't it? It's assuming that this is. Yeah. See. Uh, what am I thinking should happen? I mean, there should just be like a malloc response buffer. Yeah, I guess. Wait. Oh, so yeah, so they're saying this number, all of that is somehow 25. Is that correct? I mean, you have whatever all these things are plus a 64-bit number. Which I don't know if 25 is correct or not, um but also that's the header link. I think this is the other problem when you try to like think about these things to debug or check them. It's like I just fucking want to write any of this way. So I want to be trying to figure out what the fuck the thing is thinking. It's like when you're driving a car, to me, the most tiring part is trying to evaluate what all the other people on the road are doing. And that's where you're hitting this thing. So, you know, it's got this, but then why is it doing this plus 256 everywhere? Like, you should be able to just do data length. Um, you should be able to just have all of this, I would think, with the format thing, just as a whole thing. Uh, or better. I haven't even asked it yet about what about a non-blocking version? That I would have had mildly more effort with, but even that I don't think is that hard. I mean, it would take more time just because I've never really done it. And I've fallen down the rabbit hole. Yeah, part of it is like, why do you even need smprintf in any of this? Mm. Well, it is interesting, this whole thing about the heap size. Yeah. Come on, dude. No, I'm not. I haven't even asked you to do it in assembly yet. Uh, 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 Um, yeah. Um, as null terminated. Maximum optimization. Well, I mean, it's um, yeah, it's more than null termination problem. I mean, the code was wrong. I mean, subtly wrong, but wrong. Or, I mean, easy to think that it's right, but wrong. I haven't even told him yet that he should use right B. Should just assume that data is not going to be copied and that you're giving it away. Also, if you fork this thing, how does that work? Um, yeah, here we go. So it's basically like, oh, we got like probably code review this thing every time. We're just gonna have to assume that all this stuff at the top is not getting modified. Oh, also if you use the 26B model, it's twice the context window, but I don't know. What the fuck are they doing? Header length, which is the string length of the prefix plus the string length of this, which is also not correct, by the way, because this is obviously going to be more than 3 characters, I would think. Definitely could be. Motherfucker. Thought this was actually going to go okay, but it has gone into the crapper. I haven't really done any sort of useful agent tweaking. Um, Header part. What the fuck? Yeah, I forgot the. Wait, why are, it's this whole thing of like, why are we splitting this? Because you definitely could go, yeah, all this is just together. You're, uh, although we're not using, uh, wait, what the fuck? What? You're still using smprintf. Stop assuming it's the final version. Understood. Here is the final. uh, Now I'm not even in this scenario. Uh, well, it explained things correctly. Wait. uh, what the fuck? Did they use this proof? Oh, I mean, uh, isn't it like I2A or something? Hmm. Also, this is 32 bytes here. And then they know what the length of the string is. We do have to do this now since it's not going to do any smprintf. So it wanted to do this. Uh, what the fuck is this doing? Okay, I'm gonna have to go eat because this has gone on longer than I wanted. Uh, this is where I'm just thinking, do I just abandon this? I mean, I should just change it myself and stop trying to get it to work. This is really off from where I wanted to be. Because also, this needs to be able to do a redirect. And you do a zero copy version. I don't think this is, you know, I did, well, I mean, it's the copying of the data itself. Uh, I don't really mean to say zero copy. Um, and this is not optional. I don't know. You pretty much have to do that. I don't know why right arrow doesn't work. Yeah. Entire. Holy shit! There you go. Right V. Yeah. I mean, this is what I was thinking. It's really that you're just assuming that this data is, you know, they're going to allocate whatever space they need. Then you can just statically um, do a static buffer just for the header. It's probably easy, except for you probably then have to use smprintf to put the thing in there. That's what they did. Blah blah blah, and then um, their second buffer, although hmm, um, This thing fails when I like write the file, like if it's looking at the timestamp to figure out if it's been written or something. It's a very simple test of like, oh, well, you wrote that thing, so it's not going to work. Are they still doing the, yep. Can't convert that, isn't it? Like, I don't know if this is this creating this correctly. Like, uh, header. So we put it into the thing, adding stuff on here because we don't have a blob. Um, I assume that this isn't necessary. Um, um, also, I feel like this shows the stupidity of the HTTP protocol, that the way the header is, response header and stuff is. Okay, I gotta eat. I don't know. Highly optimized. What? Wait, are they? Is it gonna? Wait, what? Oh no. Like now, like this, like all that stuff it was dribbling out before, and now it just dumps a whole lot of stuff. All right, I gotta eat.